Holito Chimachukma Yakoki Shata Ohoyo Tinkpa Siya. Greetings to you. I am Nura Sunlight, Aboriginal Indigenous Shata woman. Welcome. This video is about the BRICS nations' elimination of the colonial U.S. financial system, the crash of the dollar forever, and the beneficial liberating effects on our Aboriginal Indigenous kinfolk of Turtle Island, now referred to as North America. In fact, we are Nayukba. Happy because it's been long overdue.
Colonizers, US dollar is returning back to them as tidal waves of toilet paper. Aborigine has no need to fear. Quote, for the US dollar to be the world's money, a reserve currency, in 1944, they had to print extra of this, so the whole world had this in their banks. They had more of this stuff than any other product in history. This is toilet paper. End quote. Robert Kiyosaki. As the world is still reeling from the shock caused by the crash of several major banks within days of each other, BRICS nations, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, are positioning themselves as an alternative to the West, aka the colonizing United States of America operators, in terms of global financial and political forums and challenging the dominance of the US dollar with a new currency. Quote, America has been violating all of these laws of money for all these years, and the world says, we've had enough of this, so they're joining the BRICS. That means 70% of the world's population that used to use the dollar is going to take it and say, we don't want it anymore. End quote. BRICS nations are advancing at a fast pace to eliminate the US dollar-dominated financial system. The first step is to bypass the US dollar, and the second step is to create a new currency to settle international trades. While the first step is already in practice, the second step could be put in place after the BRICS summit in August 2023. The alliance countries have already taken measures to bypass the US-dominated global financial system. The aim is to move away from the dependency on the US dollar and provide an alternative global financial option. BRICS is an alliance of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Wise Aboriginal Indigenous people that know better, discern and see this foretold predicament of the colonizers, as a good thing that is beneficial to the liberated minds among the indigenous, and a welcome sign that the US colonizers' stronghold is not strong at all. On the other hand, very weak. Colonizing presidents, governors, judges, police/sheriffs, etc., federal, state, and local operators that identify themselves as white Americans, or white anything, are hanging on a thin thread, which is the reason for major political fighting and turmoil among themselves, increased exercise of diabolical white privilege, resistance and heightened killing of indigenous people. Let the colonizing European and African intruders tell it. Their solution will always be to neglect the natural land reproduction for self. Land return to the Aboriginal Indigenous will not be spoken. Instead, either/or, quote-unquote, invest in cryptocurrency Bitcoin, as well as silver and gold, which are so-called precious metals to them. Don't fall for it. This will not free you. This will not liberate you. Decolonization will. The occupiers of our land know very well that, to play in their system, is consenting to be locked into their system, and keeps them in occupation of our land and people. We must detach from them, not halfway, but completely. If there is fear of a digital monetary system, don't be afraid. A digital system has been in use since the 1980s, which is why credit and debit cards are being used. It's already digital. You use it every day, now let's take the next step. The correct knowledge of reality shows the real solution is, for certain, decolonization. People wrap themselves up in red, white, and blue, but still have to ask, what is the typical civilian and victims are supposed to do? Can't vote in a corrupt and foreign colonial system under the guise of a fair so-called democracy, which is foreign mob rule. Can't get fairness in a corrupt and foreign colonial court. After the fact of legally murdering us, they simply throw us a few pieces of toilet paper, they call Federal Reserve notes, or dollars. Can't stop crooked foreign colonial governors, mayors, police, sheriffs, state troopers, judges, etc., from legally lying, cheating, stealing, terrorizing, falsely accusing, arresting, jailing, and legally murdering within their own colonizing corrupt and foreign colonial system, where they change the rules at will, and continue calling themselves American when one of their own kind clearly pointed out the identity theft committed against the Aboriginal Indigenous on this land referred to as North America. Definition: American. Noun: an Aboriginal or one of the various copper-colored natives found on the American continent by the Europeans, the original application of the name. Noah Webster's 1828 American Dictionary of the English Language, and 1936. Webster's unabridged 20th Century Dictionary. Brothers and sisters. Read the dictionary to see for yourselves. No matter if Democrat, Republican, Liberal, etc., it's still foreign European colonizers that always deflect and talk about race relations, but never decolonization, because they know that decolonization means they have to leave our land, and decolonization frees and liberates Aboriginal Indigenous on our own land, meaning detachment from the colonizer's social prison of their foreign civilization forever. The colonizer knows very well, our land is what's most valuable, since that is why they came here to this land from Europe to steal it. Remember, Earth Mother naturally produces in abundance, all of the material stuff that the colonizers covet. Question: how did we live before the dollar? How did we live before colonization? Answer: we were independent, self-managing, self-sustained, living on our own land. Honor, dignity, innovation, self-management were, and still are, inherent qualities of our people. Question: did the lush vegetation, fruit and berries of bushes and trees naturally grow before the colonizers brought the dollar? Answer: yes, growth will always happen long after man is gone. Colonizers cannot dominate nature, they can only deceive the people into believing that they are superior to what is natural. Question: does the collapse of the so-called dollar stop the lush vegetation, fruit and berries of bushes and trees grow? Answer: no. The colonizer's dollar can't stop shit. Just by the simple fact of what the BRICS nations are doing. Question: does the collapse of the so-called dollar stop the abundance of water creatures, such as fish, or land animals from continuing the natural process of life that provide food, water, clothing, and shelter? Answer: no. The collapse of the dollar does not stop nature. Question: can cryptocurrency Bitcoin, as well as silver and gold, produce lush vegetation, fruit and berries of bushes and trees, or naturally offspring the abundance of water creatures, such as fish, or land animals? Answer: no. Cryptocurrency Bitcoin, as well as silver and gold, are but a few of the elemental substances that came from Earth Mother, that colonizers covet. These substances cannot recreate, or produce edible lush vegetation, fruit and berries of bushes and trees, or natural offspring of the abundant water creatures, such as fish, or land animals. Question: so why do people put their trust, their lives, in the hands of the colonizers that deliberately formed this artificial currency system where people are made solely dependent on it? Answer: it's self-evident when your eyes, ears, and inner discernment is alert and awakened. The colonizers desperately need the people's eyes off of what is natural, because nature produces anything, and everything needed, in abundance, on this physical realm to sustain and maintain life, happiness, and growth regardless of the existence of cryptocurrency Bitcoin, silver, or gold. This realization stops the indigenous people's dependence on the colonizer. This realization makes the colonizer useless. Like toilet paper, only meant to wipe, as. These material elements cannot reproduce. Look. Greed, control and dominance. These elements are only worth what the colonizing hegemony deceived to make the people into believing they are worth, and they can only be used in an artificial system that apply the artificial worth to it, and make sure that the real people are assimilated to it so that they cannot see, to live beyond it. BRICS advancing to eliminate the foreign colonizer US dollar financial system is a good thing for the Aborigine. Look at this as a good and welcome sign getting us closer to our liberation. Aboriginal Indigenous people may have little or no control on the international level of this artificial European system of finance. However, we can, and must do what we can, for certain, on the local level. Stop wrapping yourself up in red, white, and blue. Question. Since we, the Aboriginal Indigenous people of this land have been here forever, what does it tell you when we know that the red, white and blue 13 colony flag was imposed on our land, June 14, 1777? And, on August 21, 1959, colonizer Eisenhower issued an Executive Order 10834, to his people to establish the design of the 50-star colony flag, first officially imposed on us, July 4, 1960. Answer? This tells you this red, white, and blue flag is not ours. It's not indigenous. It's foreign and European. Even this foreign English flag is the same colors as the foreign British flag. Their mother, yet, the people are still blind even when oppression has not changed one bit since the colonizers' occupation of our lands. Through all the continued hell, racism, birthright theft, slaughter of our people continue to go nowhere, yet, get deeper and deeper involved in the foreign European pile of tricks, that they call politics, in the foreigners' system to the point of running for office instead of decolonizing to end all oppression and occupation. Question. Why struggle to vote in a foreign European colonial system that shields and protects their police/cops when they legally terrorize and murder us off? Answer. The colonizer knows that when the indigenous people of this land that they stole, accept being included in their foreign system, by endorsement of written signatures at the voting booth, then the people are confirming and approving to place the colonizers in positions of leader, commander, dominator over them, which is consenting to your own oppression. Question. Why does the colonizer riot, and get all defensive and bent out of shape when someone resists oppression by taking a knee, at a simple sports game, or protest, or shield their paid police/mercenaries as justifiable homicide/murder of defenseless indigenous people on our own land, or do or say anything that the colonizers see as non-patriotic? Answer. 1. The colonizer knows that this land is not theirs, and riot is the most basic part and meaning of the word patriot. 2. The colonizer can see that the indigenous are shunning away from the agreement made between them where the colonizer is leader, commander, and dominator by consent through the voting booth. 3. The colonizer knows that the indigenous have wised up, and will no longer consent to, and or pay for their own oppression on our own land. 4. The colonizer knows that the time is getting closer and closer for them to leave our land, and all other lands they have colonized and dominated the people. You see, Aboriginal Indigenous sisters and brothers, the BRICS nations are helping just that. They are helping decolonization all over Earth Mother. The elements of the universe are coming together to rid this disgusting, heinous, foul mentality of the colonizers occupying Turtle Island, now called North America, in order for the season of change coming forward where people are free, just like the changing of seasons on Earth Mother. BRICS advancing to eliminate the foreign colonizer US dollar financial system is a good thing for the Aborigine. Look at this as a good and welcome sign getting us closer to our liberation. Aboriginal Indigenous people may have little or no control on the international level of this artificial European system of finance. However, we can, and must do what we can, for certain, on the local level. Stop wrapping yourself up in red, white, and blue. It's all foreign to the Aboriginal Indigenous. Instead, decolonization gets the land back, for which Earth Mother is most sacred and priceless. Decolonization sends the colonizers packing, headed back across the Great Atlantic. Decolonization is the answer to all ills and turmoil at North America and worldwide. Hear this and hear this good. If you are wide awake, the Aborigine has no need to fear because we are on the natural order of things, but be courageous and take care of the land which takes care of us, because decolonization of North America is happening right now for the good of Earth Mother and all of her inhabitants. Stop wrapping yourself up in red, white, and blue. It's all foreign to the Aboriginal Indigenous. Decolonization gets the land back, for which Earth Mother is most sacred and priceless. Decolonization sends the colonizers packing, headed back across the Great Atlantic. Decolonization is the answer to all ills and turmoil at North America and worldwide. Hear this and hear this good. If you are wide awake, the Aborigine has no need to fear because we are on the natural order of things, but be courageous and take care of the land which takes care of us, because decolonization of North America is happening right now for the good of Earth Mother and all of her inhabitants.
Te Chi Hina Antimaka. I love you, Mother Earth.